wasn't brave enough to say it aloud, so I wrote it instead. Words meant for no one, but hoping somewhere deep down that he'd read them. The fog in Dust Valley always felt like it was holding its breath, just like me. Every morning I'd walk to that mailbox, my heart a drum against my ribs. And that day, with a sealed envelope in my hand, the drumming was deafening. I slipped it in, a secret sent out into the world before I could change my mind. Inside the diner, everything was the same. Bell-flipped pancakes, the smell of batter and coffee filling the air. He was there by the window, watching the sunrise paint the sky. Eli, the cowboy who had, without trying, chipped away at the walls I'd built around my silence. I brought him his coffee, my hand steady, my face a mask of normalcy. He looked up, a small smile playing on his lips. "Guess you're talking now, huh?" I managed a smile back. Only when it matters. He held my gaze for just a moment longer than necessary. "Then I'll try to keep materin." We shared a small laugh, a bubble of warmth in the quiet morning. But my eyes kept drifting to the window, to the mailbox standing like a silent accomplice outside. The sound of the mail truck was a familiar part of the afternoon rhythm, but that day it was a thunderclap. I saw the postman from the kitchen window collecting the day's letters. My letter, the one I'd already regretted 1,000 times. I dropped my dish towel and ran. "Wait. That letter," I called out, breathless, as I burst through the diner doors. The postman just tipped his hat. Already gone, headed north on the noon truck. My heart sank. I just stood there on the dusty roadside, watching the truck become a smaller and smaller speck until it disappeared completely, taking my foolish, hopeful words with it. Some folks leave without saying goodbye, others say goodbye without ever leaving. I never knew which one she'd be. Packing my bag in that quiet motel room, the only sound was the damn ticking clock, counting down the seconds until I had to go. I looked at the sketch she'd given me, pinned to the wall. It was a drawing of the valley at dawn, but it felt like she'd captured something more, something I couldn't put a name to. I'd spent my life moving on, but leaving Dust Valley felt different. It felt like leaving a part of myself behind, a part I'd only just discovered. The next day, the diner felt like a cage. Every time the bell on the door chimed, I jumped, my nerves frayed. I couldn't focus on anything, my mind replaying the moment I'd let that letter go. Belle must have seen it on my face. She put a hand on my arm, her expression soft with concern. "What's wrong, sweetheart? You look like you've seen a ghost." I couldn't meet her eyes. I might have sent something I shouldn't have. A slow grin spread across Belle's face. "If it's to that cowboy," she said, her voice a conspiratorial whisper, "maybe it's exactly what you should have sent." I offered a weak half-smile, but her words did little to calm the storm in my chest. What if she was wrong? Days passed, each one longer than the last. The diner was quiet. The sunrise felt less vibrant. I'd resigned myself to the fact that I'd made a mistake, that my words were lost, and so was he. Then I heard it. The low rumble of a familiar engine. I looked out the window, and my breath caught. It was his dusty pickup truck pulling up to the post office across the street. Eli, he stepped out, and in his hand he was holding it. The letter. My letter. It was open. He stood there for a long time, just reading, his head bowed. I couldn't see his expression, but I saw his shoulders slump slightly, as if the weight of my words had finally reached him. I watched him from the diner window as he read it, my heart pounding in my throat. He read the words softly to himself. His voice carried on the wind just enough for me to imagine it. I wasn't afraid of silence, Eli. I was afraid no one would ever fill it with kindness again. Until you. I saw him fold the letter so gently, and slip it into his pocket. Then he started walking. Not to his truck, but toward the diner, toward me. The bell on the door chimed, but this time it was different. Slow, heavy, final. He stood there, just inside the doorway, the late afternoon sun framing him. My world stopped. He looked at me, and in his eyes, I saw everything. You said you didn't mean to send it, he said, his voice low and steady as he walked toward the counter. But I'm glad you did. I couldn't speak, a knot of tears tightening in my throat. He stopped right in front of me. You wrote, "Don't go yet." He paused, his gaze unwavering. Guess I'm still listening to that. Trembling, I took a step forward. Then maybe. My voice was barely a whisper. Don't ever stop. He reached across the counter and took my hand. And in that moment, the silence between us wasn't empty anymore. It was full.